What's up with the squad? Back with another video. I'm Recklezz.
Okay.
The Democratic Party doesn't respect black people, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe button. More videos. Make sure y'all comment down below and let it be known. Let's go ahead and jump right into it.
I've noticed, and you can correct me, ma'am, I'm seeing it wrong. I noticed that the Democratic representative, the party itself, they, as I mentioned earlier, they don't respect blacks. They think that blacks are not capable enough to do it for themselves. So they offer them affirmative action and reparations and things like that. They think that the blacks can't take care of themselves, so they're lowering the standards in order to get into a white university. They're now telling the blacks that they don't have to take the test because they can't pass the white man's test. They think that the blacks, rather than having a father and mother in the home, they offer them government. They don't believe that the blacks are capable. And what I don't understand about that, and since you are involved in...
So is it other than the Democratic Party of providing jobs and providing services for them to get jobs and for them to work, rather than pacifying and trying to, give benefits? Is it? Do you think it's that, or?
Well, in one of the videos before, they were saying they're just doing it because they're trying to make people weak. Like the Democratic Party was like trying to make people weak because of giving them free stuff and not having actual jobs or anything. Mm-hmm. So it's like they're not doing it for a good cause. That's what that video said before.
Strategizing for them. Why? What I don't understand, why do the blacks accept themselves being treated that way? Like they just can't do it. They're lowering the whole, even to get in certain jobs and things, they're lowering the standards for the blacks so that they can get it, otherwise they won't get it. I don't understand why the blacks put up with that.
Those type of things are just kind of balancing the scales from things that happened decades before. So as you know, slavery happened. It wasn't that long ago, as you know.
Over 150 years ago.
And my mother, not my grandmother, my mom went to a segregated school. So it's not that long ago.
I did too.
Okay, so you understand. It's not like this is distant.
But blacks were better off then. They didn't beg, they didn't blame.
Let's see. So back after World War II, there was a period in the United States, about 20 to 30 years, where when people came back from the war, they were given home loans that they had no interest or didn't even have to pay back. They were given cars, they were given free college education, they were given all of these things that purposely excluded black people. So there was a time in this country where white people got handouts, but we didn't call it that. Back at the time, the GI Bill, all of those funds, we didn't call it a handout, we called it an opportunity. And when people look back on that time, they look back on that time, a lot of white people, as a very happy time because they got a leg up in the country, they got a fresh start, they got the money and the support that they needed to build the generational wealth that they have today. And black people didn't have access to it. They were literally purposely excluded because of racism, because of Jim Crow, because of all of these things that purposely left us out and did not give us access to the same type of help that white people did.
Where did you get that information from? Because it's not true. Where did you get that from?
The GI Bill, you should look it up.
I know black men who went to the military and they got the GI Bill too. It wasn't just the white. I have family members who went to the military, they got the GI Bill. Yeah. When they got out, they were able to go to school and they were able
to purchase. But a lot of them were excluded. They were able to
purchase a home and things like that. And they were black, right? So I'm trying to figure out where you get that information from, because it's not true.
It's just true. We can agree to disagree. But
I grew up.
No, it's not. I don't think it's more of a agree to disagree thing. It's more of a what's true is what's true. So he's saying that it's facts, and he's asking her where are you getting your information from? She can't provide the information on where she's getting that from, and she's just saying, "Oh, we can agree to disagree." No. That's basically more of your opinion and the facts itself. I can't even say his facts because it's the facts itself and the information itself.
I would say she don't have the facts to back it up.
You get that information from, because it's not true.
It's just true. We can agree to disagree. But
I grew up in Alabama when the Jim Crow law existed, and that what you said wasn't true.
Yeah, my family
Black
grew up
people
in
were doing
Texas.
better during the Jim Crow law than they are today because they weren't begging and blaming, and the country didn't have to lower the standards
It's not
to let
lowering
them
the standards.
to let them in.
It's not lowering the standards, it's giving people access. We know right now, literally recently in Texas, there was a job posting that went out where people were sending clone resumes, same exact resume, you just put a black name on it and a white name on it, and the white people were still getting the job or getting called for interviews when the black name wasn't. Like, this is 2023. So, you know, racism exists.
Why would a company want to hire a person with a black name? They know that that's trouble.
Why is that trouble?
Because when the blacks change their name to black names, they're saying out loud, well, we hate white folks. We're not going to work with them. We're not going to get along. And so I would never hire anyone with a black name.
Well, that's bias. And
because I know that you're bringing in trouble. This person's already want me to get along with my white employees and things like that.
Well, that's internalized racism.
I wouldn't hire that.
That's your choice.
You know what I mean?
Bias.
So why would a company want to hire someone that you know already going to bring trouble?
That's not true. I'm Nigerian. I have a Nigerian name. Amani Onyoha is a Caucasian name.
But you grew up in America, though. You didn't grow up in Nigeria.
And there's a lot of black people who have ethnic names who grew up in America. So what's the difference?
But why would a company want to hire a black with a black name?
Why not?
No, I'm asking. I just told you why not, because it's trouble.
Why is it trouble? Black people are trouble? Is that your
When they
opinion?
change their name to abnormal names like black names, they are saying they are angry. They are.
If we don't change our name, last time I checked, I didn't choose my name.
I know,
was
but
given
your
my
mother,
name at birth.
your folks are from a different country, so
My
of
mom
course,
is from here.
but your father's from there, right? Mm-hmm. It's of course they're going to have different names. I'm talking about the blacks who were Americans and they had American names at one time. Mm-hmm. Mm. You believe that? Oh, so you think that it's okay that the reason that you are a Democrat and no problem with it, you're okay with them lowering the standards for the blacks?
They're not lowering the standards for
what
the
would you
blacks.
call it? Because these people are
They're
not qualified.
If you're not qualified, then you won't get the job. But if you have the qualifications,
but
if
the
you
qualified
have the
person
resume,
is the person that can pass the test.
If you can
not
pass
the
the
one
test.
that can't pass the test.
There's a lot of black people who have had affirmative action who have passed the test and are very educated. They have master's degrees. They have high GPAs.
But how would
they
you know
pass
that,
the
though,
test.
since you know that they only get into these schools based on color?
They're not
and
only getting into the schools
the
based
standards
on
been lowered so the blacks can get in. So you have to assume.
This is a good conversation.
I would say yeah.
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting.
That all the blacks are just getting in because, not because of qualification, but because of affirmative action.
It's just not true.
It's not true?
It's not true.
Okay. You believe that there are benefits to having a more progressive leadership that is willing to change the law for working class people, such as raising the minimum wage. Mm-hmm. Are you okay if you had a business, your own business? Would you be okay with the?
Why sell your car at WeBuyAnyCar.com? Because when you trade in, you're
government telling you in your own private business that you have to raise the minimum wage.
I have my own private business because I'm a partner at this firm, so I do own a portion of the firm. And we unionized our staff. We told them, hey, y'all should unionize. And we did their union negotiation in 2 days. We gave them good wages, they got medical, and we are bound by that union contract, and it goes up every year, and we have to reaffirm it, and we did it, and it's fine.
You wouldn't have done it had not you gotten a union? You wouldn't have naturally done that?
Yeah, we told them to unionize.
No, if they had not gotten a union, you would not have paid them for what they were worth?
We were still paying them really well. We just wanted just to have that partnership with the union to hold us accountable. We were already paying them well. They already had great wages. So when it came down to negotiate, we ratified our union contract in 2 days. It didn't take long because we had already been providing the things that they would have wanted. So
and you say you needed the union to hold you responsible?
We don't need them to, but we're not afraid of it.
But why, if you were going to do the responsible thing, why did you need a union? I don't quite understand.
We didn't need it, but our staff, people want it. Like, people like to be unionized. They like to have the backing of a union. So yeah, they're here. They're our partners in it, and it's working out great.
But I don't quite understand, because if you guys were going to do the right thing anyway, and the staff knew that, Why would they want a union? Because now they have to pay union dues.
We told them to, you know.
Now they have to pay union dues.
And they're happy.
They may get a raise, but that raise going to go toward the union dues, which benefit the unions to go to the Democratic representatives to help support the Democrats to get what they want to get.
Yeah, we can be transparent. Union dues are 0.08% of our staff's paycheck. And that's something that they wanted to do. Again, they formed the union. They voted on it. That's what they wanted to do because they wanted that type of protection, and we were cool with it. It doesn't cost them much. It probably cost them $20 a paycheck, but you got the whole backing of a huge union behind you, which is great for them. And they wanted that, and we was cool with it.
That's amazing. You want to stop union busting. Why?
Why would you union bust?
Why do you want to stop union busting?
Because if people want access to better wages, health care, time off, sick leave, they should be able to have that. And busting the union oftentimes interferes with their ability to have access to those things. For instance, if the corporation themselves or the company or whoever doesn't want to give you things that you need, like sick days, basic things, we all get sick, none of us are perfectly immune, then you should be able to have access to those things and don't stand in the way of an entity that's trying to provide those type of protections for workers.
All of my life, I worked for different companies before I started my own thing. And I never worked for a company where they didn't give you time off, vacation time, sick time. And if you need to be off, they'll let you go and take care of your business. Where did that idea come from that companies don't do that and you need a union?
There's some, well, unions have been here long before either of us were
I know
alive.
that, you're
so
right.
a long
Been
time
around
ago. And America was, again, better back then when we had union strength because a lot of the sneaky things that some corporations and some businesses do. Like I said, I'm a business owner myself, so I understand that there are some businesses and corporations who are cool with giving people paid time off, you know, bereavement, all of that. But then there are some people who try to skip corners. Like we had the big thing with Palestine, Ohio, and the labor workers. They were not given paid sick days. Like, why? In 2023, are we not giving people paid sick days? So there are some industries that don't do the basic things that you grew up on and that I've known most of my jobs to offer. Some people don't. So in those instances where we know that those are basic things that everybody needs, then you should be able to fight for those things.
Most of the time, the employees that are complaining are the ones that you should have working for you anyway. Cause
Sometimes.
they show up late. They halfway do a job and they're complaining. And the reason I know that because I work for a different company, but I used to work for a union. And
because I honestly feel like if a person is complaining about the job, complaining about anything, bringing negative things, they're not going to do the job right anyways.
Yeah, or they're already missing all those days. And
Hell yeah.
sick days and using up all the days, and then they want to put their 2 cents on that when they're not even coming to work. So
Exactly. I feel like that's something that's big. That's like, you feel me? I feel like that's something that's big. Me personally.
yeah, I do.
That you have people that complain, and I literally when I worked at Enterprise at the airport. There was a lot of people that was in there complaining, wasn't even cleaning the cars right, wasn't driving the cars right, wrecking the cars, and it was always wrecks, and all of that, you know. The same people, you feel me, complaining and not doing their job right. It affects your work type shit.
It definitely does.
well, you anyway, cause
Sometimes.
they show up late, they halfway do a job,
Show
and
up
they're
late.
complaining. And the reason I know that because I work for a different company, but I used to work for a union, and we were trained to go to the employee that was complaining about the job situation, not showing up for work on time or not coming to work a lot, and get them to help get you into the company so you can convince the other employees to join the union. And it's not that the union care about the people, the union care about the money. And they'll live it high on the hall while the employees are paying their salary, paying their, by way of union dues. It's not like they care about them, they just care about the money and the perceived power that they're getting. Do you think that unions care about you?
Sometimes.
No, they don't.
Yeah. I'm
I used to
queen
work
they
of-
don't.
hard, work for 'em.
I feel you.
They
Two things
don't.
can be right at the same time. You ever heard that phrase?
What's that?
Two things can be right at the same time.
No.
There are some people who are in unions for the power and the money, and then at the same time, there are some employees who need protection and better wages. Two things can be true at the same time.
But the ones that say they need it are the ones that should be fired anyway.
Sometimes.
Right.
But sometimes
You know what I
it's
mean?
not. Yeah.
Amazing. And so,
Amazing.
the union in the older days, I think they may have meant well, but the unions today are no good. They're just one-sided union for the Democratic Party, and they can care less about the people. I'm not for the union. Just as I work for them, and I know the thinking of the unions. And they go out and they convince the people, you need more money, you need this, and you need that. And when the people think that they're going to get more, they're for it, but they end up getting nothing. It's the union that does it.
That was a good conversation. Make sure y'all go watch you know what I'm saying, Half and Jay. Make sure y'all go watch. It was definitely a great conversation about everything. And it's really good to learn new things, because that's a lot of things that I didn't know. I didn't
know half of that stuff.
Yeah, I didn't know, and learning something new every day really helps with a lot of knowing what's going on with the Democratic Party, what's going on with the Republican Party, you know.
Yeah, so we can know our own opinion.
Facts, and from the looks of things, that the Democratic Party is not that well, you know.
I would say, I've been hearing more bad things about the Democratic
Yeah, hell yeah. I when reacting to these videos, I have not heard at least more than 3 things that's good about the Democratic Party. And it's gonna be people commenting like this and this, of course. But I mean, every time it's brought up of reacting to some Republican, or some Republican got this to say, or this, or, you know, it's more of, okay, well, I'm unsubscribing, or I don't like this, or you're wrong for doing these videos, instead of, okay, well, make sure I'm gonna put this link out so you can see what the Democratic Party actually does.
Yeah, to educate us.
Yeah, instead of doing
more,
that.
yeah.
And that just goes to show you that it's not right.
Yeah.
Make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe. I definitely appreciate everybody tuning in and watching this reaction. Make sure y'all like the video, please, and stay tuned for the next 2 drops. Catch y'all next one.